everybody, my name's Conor McGilligan. This is One Leeds. Welcome back to the latest video. This video, as always, is sponsored by Shop GNO, The Job Match Group, and Match Bingo. Let's get into it. First up, The Job Match Group. Whether you're looking for your next big gig or just browsing, The Job Match Group has niche job sites made just for you. F1, retail, security, and loads more. They're about matching the right person to the right job. Make sure you check them out if you're ready to level up your career. Then we've got Shop GNO, an exciting new e-commerce site where you can grab exclusive deals and discounts. Right now, One Leeds has an affiliate link just below where you can score a 25 quid membership for free, unlocking special rates and benefits. You can even list your own shop on there with way better rates than Amazon, eBay, and Vinted. They've got some Leeds bits and some general bits now and launching soon, plus some great prizes just for signing up. This is all powered by a massive Leeds United fan looking to make waves in the online shopping world. So check them out and support your local. And don't forget our mates at Match Bingo. They're smashing it with footy fun. You can get 5 bingo cards for the price of 4 through One Leeds, and you can even deposit just a £5 at a time to join the action. It's a big chance to win whilst having a blast with your fellow Leeds United friends. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Check the links in the description, and let's get on with the video. Well, everybody, I was sat here making a video for the Seconde channel, and the breaking news, the bomber from Fabrizio Romano comes through, just breaks through. I was just doing a little bit of scouting. I was doing a video on Wolverhampton Wanderers, actually, and how they're going to do this season, and maybe, you know, that could include Leeds United and the newly promoted teams, but then an absolute bomber from Fabrizio Romano, everybody. You can see here it's pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered. Still a medical to go, but Jaka Bijol is short to be confirmed. It appears anyway. We don't want to just put the stamp on it, but Fabrizio has given it the bomber that he will be a Leeds United player. And we spoke this morning, didn't we, on the rumour mill, if you did catch it, about it being a tough deal to do. Apparently, the rumoured 12 to 16 million quid, of which Leeds were quoted, of which Baron Cross was speaking about in The Athletic, it was a lot higher. And from the Italian side of things, it looked a little bit sketchy. Newcastle were involved. Everton were apparently sniffing round, were reporting and speaking on it this morning. Multiple sources were speaking of this morning as well. And out of nowhere, or maybe not out of nowhere, maybe there was just a conversation. And we did mention it this morning. Maybe it was just agents, you know, trying to feed bits in here. Maybe representatives trying to feed bits in there. Well, Leeds United have gone out there and spent 22 million euros. It looks like anyway, and we'll get the official tweet up from Fabrizio Romano, but 23 million euros on a defender, Jaka Bijol. Okay, so Leeds United agree deal to sign Jaka Bijol from Udinese, club-to-club deal, and here we go. Agreement for 22 million euros, transfer fee, add-ons including, and personal terms already in place. New defender set for medical soon. And actually, quite interestingly, just below it as well, Roma are maintaining active contacts for Lachumi. Obviously, we were speaking about him earlier on in the centre-back position of the Colombian, but really happy with this one. I have to say, it got to a point of which I was getting a little bit tetchy. I can't deny it. It was getting to a point of which you were thinking to yourself, is this actually going to happen? Are Newcastle going to swoop in with all that lovely Saudi cash and sweep Jaka off our Leeds United Premier League foundation? And it looks like Leeds have got the deal done, which is really, really good news. Really happy with that, I have to say. And yeah, guys, let us know what you think about that in the comment section below. Let's see how many of you are here. Stevie Leeds says, Connor, this sign is a watershed. Ambition of Leeds, long may it continue. Appreciate the work. Thanks so much, buddy. Really appreciate that. Jaka Bijol is the pronunciation. That's around 19 million quid in sterling. It is, mate. Yeah, I mean, the market value's dramatically gone up when it comes to Bijol. Obviously, there was talks of it this morning, but it does feel like it is around 19 million quid, doesn't it? When you're looking at, obviously, that compared to the euro basis. So yeah, 19 million quid when it comes to sterling. I think that's a good deal. Just under 20 million quid, it feels like there. And obviously with Berren effectively quoting it being top marker around about last week of 16 million quid, thinking to yourself, could Leeds get this done? It felt like it was, as I said, signed, sealed, and delivered. And we were seeing reports this morning that Newcastle were getting involved, and it had been a little bit of a murmur from last week, and it happened again today. And I was thinking, oh, Leeds, no, come on. Let's get this done. Let's get this one done. So it's fantastic. We've got the detail done of the deal as well, which is really important. I mean, let's have a little bit of a rundown, everybody. If you're not aware of him, and I don't know if some of you might not be, a little bit of a fact sheet on him: 193 centimeters, 6'4", a traditional centre back, not of the Leonardo Bellardis or not even of the Pascal Struijks. Very much more of a traditional centre back. In terms of Joe Rodon, that's kind of the profile and the style of player that Hacker is. Big presence in both boxes, massive presence in both boxes when it comes to obviously defensively and aerially. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a breakdown like I did this morning on Nemecha. Dominated in Serie A, over 3 aerial duels won per 90. Per 90. So this is when I was talking about the style of play earlier on, everybody, and maybe how Leeds are going to adapt to the Premier League and us be a little bit more pragmatic. Daniel Farke is going to have to develop in this area. There was a few people saying to me this morning, Connor, you may be overrating the signing of Nemecha. I know Chris King, was saying you're being a bit naive when it comes to Nemecha. Farke won't change his style of play. He won't be pragmatic. I think he will. Otherwise, we wouldn't be going for these type of players. And I can see Bijol actually starting with Joe Rodon. I can see that being a thing right now. Maybe Pascal being involved when it's a back three or when needed. But I think Leeds are going to get to a stage right now where you've got traditional centre-backs there who can still play, by the way, but their primary function is to defend. But in all fairness to Pascal Struijk, his aerial duels per 90 are very, very good. So he has that extra component to his game in being able to step up, pass out from the back. Once again, we were linked with Leonardo Bellardi at Marseille, the Argentinian. Very much of that, a little bit more of an all-rounder, stepping out, ball-playing centre-back. Jaka Bijol, Joe Rodon, a little bit different, even though Joe's developed this season. But fantastic, I would say. At 26, obviously he's entering his prime now. He's the main component for the international side, and he just brings top-level physicality. And that is the word of which we wanted to use, everybody. Physicality and top level is absolutely, unequivocally the statement signing so far. Obviously for Leeds United, the Nemecha yesterday was a free, but this coming after it, I think Leeds have done really, really well here. I think the fan base were a little bit tetchy. I'll be honest, reading what I read on my social media and my YouTube page, I think the fan base were a little bit tetchy. What I would say, though, is I think them following that Nemecha signing up so quickly is really important, and they've done it really well in terms of just getting him in less than 12 to 14 hours later. I mean, the last post about Nemecha, I think, was this morning. So really importantly to have got the deal done, and that bomber was appreciated 100%. By obviously our man Fabrizio. In your face, Newcastle United, says Rolling Wolves. Sujal says, I'm liking this from the 49ers, getting the business done, unlike Rads and his crew. 22 million euros is 18.74 million. Good to see that. Logan says, looking positive for transfers getting done and early. Josh says, who's next? Con, I know, mate. Who is next? Let's have a wait and see on that one, mate. LFC Passion says, hi, Connor, great news. We'll probably be back on the channel. Yes, he will be, mate. Hopefully at some stage whenever he wants to come back on. 4 a.m. in New Zealand, and I'm opening up a Champers because I can love that L. Good lad, Matt. Kingy's in the building. Big Kingy, what are you saying, mate? Are you happy with that one? Are you happy with that one? Pei Zhao and DRNX, please. Then a left back, a higher class forward, and a keeper. And I think that will do us in Jan. Then the new manager then let the new manager. You do make me laugh, Kingy. You do make me laugh, mate. But it is positive, isn't it, Chris? I know you're one of the ones who really are looking at the manager. And from your perspective as well, Kingy, I understand that you just got to, at least if you don't think he is the man, you've just got to give him the goods so these players can translate to another manager as well. And from your perspective, it might be a manager who involves a little bit more pragmatism and is a little bit more well-versed and varied in his approach. Okay. And someone like Jaka Bijol will fit several systems as well. I do believe Nemecha will do as well. We kind of tried to analyze that this morning in terms of being in a back three and Leeds building up in a different way with Nemecha front two, just a solo striker as well. A front three, I think he can work along all fronts really. But yes, the injury record is problematic problematic, of course, but I think there is a bigger picture in terms of that word again, the profile of what Leeds United are looking at. Let's get into a few more details when it comes to Haka, shall we, everybody? I think what I would say is maybe last time that we were in the Premier League, there was a little bit of a problem when it came to set pieces, when it came to physicality, when it came to us going out there and maybe signing the more aesthetically pleasing footballer. And one of those who I would always look at, and this is Rodrigo, got 14 goals for Leeds United, but we did sign him for 30 million quid at 29 years of age. And Ollie Watkins was on the market, a much more physically imposing, athletic centre forward at that level from Brentford. Okay, Brentford didn't go up. Leeds had the opportunity to go and get him. There was loads of rumours on the mill that year. We didn't do that. We went for Rodrigo. He was the flair sign at the moment in time. Valencia, brilliant. But I think taking a step back, someone who was a little bit more physically imposing, could run the line a little bit more, is just a bag full of energy, and is an out and out nine in Ollie Watkins, I think would have been the better option. I think we can all understand that right now. And another one would have been Brendan Aronson. When we went for Brendan Aronson, we didn't go out and get a player there who was notorious for the number 8 and wasn't really known as a number 10. Even when Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool were looking at him, he wasn't really known for that number 10 position. It was either left wing at a stretch for the US men's national team, albeit it was rare fleetings out there, but it was that number 8 position, but he lacked physicality. So Leeds spent a lot of money on players who lack physicality. What I quite like already is we are rectifying those mistakes for me. Now, a big thing that I've not looked at as well when it comes to Haka, and maybe we've spoke about that traditional sense when it comes to him, is his composure on the ball and his ball playing ability as well. He's averaged an accuracy passing of 89% in Serie A, comfortable stepping into midfield and playing through the lines. And I think he's a very good fit for Daniel Farke's controlled possession-based style. But I guess then that means that we're going to have to pivot a little bit to the long ball, and we're going to pivot a little bit to that direct nature over the press, and Leeds going to have to drop deep. And that's kind of how I've described him so far on the channel. It's a real deep line centre-back, and that might sound ridiculous, but we all know right now some of these high line playing centre-backs who actually struggle to defend on the penalty spot. I think a lot of them struggle to do that. They're not traditional centre-backs, and I think that's exactly what Haka is. But he's not just a stopper. He can play football as well, and he is a Premier League player, and I don't think he'd look out of place in a Brentford or Brighton side, to be quite honest with you. So that's a real importance. He is a stopper, of course, but he can contribute to Leeds getting forward as well. Defensive intelligence and versatility. Reads the game really, really well. 1.9 interceptions per 90. 1.9, which basically says to me that there was so many players in the Premier League when you're even looking at our centre-backs at points. My God, in the Premier League, Llorente get dragged out. He'd be rash. Koch would get dragged out. Pause. Rash. The thing with Jaka Bijol is there is a positional awareness there, a spatial awareness, and a football intelligence, of which I'm a huge fan of. Can read the space, calm, composed, all these buzzwords of which need to facilitate with Leeds United as a team in the Premier League. Has played in a back 4, has played in a back 3. He's even played as a defensive midfielder. So he almost fits like that Pascal Struijk mold, really, doesn't he? In terms of that Swiss Army knife and what he's actually done in that back line. Obviously, Pascal under Marcelo Bielsa had played left back. He played sometimes in central midfield, and then obviously played at centre back on either the right or the left, primarily the left. But I think as well, being strong in 1v1s is really important. Knows when to step out, knows when to hold the line, and a leader at the back as well. So when you're holding the line, he's someone who can contribute to that and obviously direct that back line as well with Joe Rodon. And with Premier League forwards, we all know it's not just about strength, it's about timing and getting that mark and getting that line right. And Bijol's got that. International pedigree. Slovenia international, 40-plus caps, played every minute of their Euro 2024 qualifying campaign. We've mentioned the leadership side of it, composure on the big stage. He's absolutely battle-tested at the international level as well, and Leeds are getting a leader there. What does this then mean for Leeds United's defence? What does it mean? I think he's likely to partner Joe Rodon. I think that's what he is. He will be his partner this season. From my perspective, I think that is fair as well. I think Joe's had an excellent season. I think Joe's developed as a centre-back. I think as a ball-playing centre-back, he's drastically improved. I don't think as a centre-back, and this is kind of where we separate a traditional centre-back, which is no disrespect, because Rodon can build up and is much better on the ball now and can step up, as is Jaka Bijol. But you do get your Leonardo Bellardis, you do get your Pascal Struijks as an example, who are a little bit more well-rounded when it comes to being better with the ball at their feet. But I think what you're going to see with Leeds United now is a different, maybe, style of play. Leeds centre backs are going to be defending very deep, in my opinion, and it's going to be a lot of balls into the box and defending. Now, the interesting part of this is aerial duels per 90. Pascal Struijk's actually at a better rate than Joe Rodon, which is crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? So I think he's a Premier League ready centre back, and with more signings on the way now with Leeds United, Leeds, I think, are building from the back in the right way. Bringing a centre back in is massive, and building that rear guard is absolutely massive. Leeds have to do this. I think building from the back is going to be so important for the Whites this season. It's going to be so drastically important. You've got to build from the back. You've got to get the goalkeeper right, two positions right in and around there. I don't know what happens with Pascal Struijk now, but do you even go out and get another centre back with obviously Verba leaving and Ampadu not being able to facilitate that role in the Premier League? You've got three. I think I'm really happy with that three, I'll be honest with you. I am really happy with that three, but we'll have to see what happens with Pascal Struijk when it comes to obviously that annoying P word, which we know we're going to have to speak about, which is, yes, the very, very irritating PSR conversation. But I'm really happy with this. I have to say I'm really happy. I think it's a positive move by the club. I like the fact that there's been rumours, a heck of a lot of rumours on the mill, and what Leeds United have appeared to do, and it might have already been done in the background. We have to say that, but what Leeds have appeared to do is step up their push for him. Maybe in the last couple of days, when you've got the likes of Newcastle sniffing around and Everton suddenly, after effectively telling Michael Keane and apparently others on their list that they're surplus to requirements, that they can move for maybe a player like Jaka Bijol. But I think it's a really top addition, and I think it really is probably the statement signing for Leeds United so far. Obviously with Nemetch coming in, but it's an interesting way in terms of Leeds being able to move and develop in a different way. And I think what seems to be, and it looks like Sasha Tavaleri is just putting out now, Leeds United are closing an agreement for Udinese Calcio, Jaka Bijol, I should say, keen on the move and should sign a 5-year deal. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Really happy with that one. So I think what I like about him as well, and if you guys have done your research on him, some of you might not have done. I do this for a living, so I have to sit here and effectively watch these players all the time, which I love doing. But I try compartmentalize scouting reports for you guys. I try to do a lot of research. I've got my little notebook of which I go on every single day and try bring you the news, but also try break down to you profiles and how these can work and how they work off the left foot, the right foot, the balance, how they are when it comes to stride patterns, body mechanics, which is a big thing in football now, and obviously is a big part of the 49ers and box-to-box midfielders and fullbacks who are now wingers, the versatility of players and the athleticism and the physicality. And I think the brilliant thing that we've not touched on with Jaka Bijol, there's going to be no idiot moments. No moments. What you've done right there is you've spent money on a player who at international level displays a calmness, an assurance, and a composed level of which I don't know when the last time we've seen it consistently for Leeds United from a centre back. I don't really think it's happened in recent memory anyway. A composed centre back who is going to ease the team. Joe has been that this season. I think Pascal's still got moments, even though I do love Pascal. Firpo had moments, and I think if you eradicate all of that, and you get to a point of which Leeds United are at a stage of which we're eradicating silly moments, stupid moments. You can be put into moments by Mo Salah. You can be put into moments by Florian Wirtz. You can be put into moments by Cherky. That can happen. What can't happen is stupid moments. And you guys know when I was in Italy, I crossed the road. A car was coming whilst I was filming myself. Someone shouted out, "Stupido, stupido." And that's what I felt myself doing every single time we're in the Premier League. And there was either a bomb scare moment from Llorente, or Cock had done something where he'd misread the flight of a ball and then was trying to grab hold of a player's shirt, or Firpo was getting his 17th yellow card in 2 years in the Premier League, or he was giving away his 4th penalty of the season. So with the greatest of respect to Firpo as well, unbelievable and really happy with his progress last season, but he was a risk in the Premier League. This guy's not a risk. He's a bona fide stud. a bona fide stud, and I think the clubs that were interested in him, especially Newcastle, which apparently I did a bit of research afterwards, guys. You know, I've got my contacts every now and again, and that was interest from Newcastle side of things. Don't know that. I don't know about Everton. Can't tell you anything about Everton, but definitely Newcastle. There was interest there. So I think Leeds have just thought to themselves, do you know what? We're not going to repeat this Rodrigo de Paul thing. We know the Pozo family can be very, very ruthless when it comes to negotiation, the Udinese owners. And we've gone in, and it could have even been today. I doubt it, because I think Leeds are a little bit more prepped than that. But the key thing to focus on, and Baron Cross mentioned this the other day, Leeds have been prepping this for 2 years. They will have been aware of Nemecha. They will have been aware of Bijol. The report from The Athletic came out this morning and said these guys have been studied, and they've been speaking to agents and representatives since April. So this is why I think the Nemecha rhetoric's a bit interesting when it comes to opinion and subjectivity, which is obviously fine. It's what we want on this channel. But I think it's interesting because Leeds will have known about this, and Leeds will have been talking to his representatives for a while now. They will have known his contract situation. They will have known the fact that this guy has played 7 times at senior level under Hansi Flick. They will have known that he was prolific in Manchester City's under 21s and prolific for England before he obviously switched nationality. They'll have known that there's potential there, and they can take a risk on him because it's low risk for a free, and he's only 26 years of age. So this could work as maybe a third striker, if you will. But someone like this guy, they'll have been speaking to for a long time now. Now, I wanted his partner. Umar Saleh, at the very beginning. You all know Connor's 6 picks. My first pick was Umar Saleh, and he was a little bit more of your He's a little bit more of your Struijk, was a little bit more mobile, was a little bit quicker. Was a little bit of the coverer when it came to Bijol. So I wanted him because I feel like he would have absolutely stepped up when it came to the physicality. But that's absolutely no slouch when we've got Jaka Bijol whatsoever, just different types of players. But now I know how Leeds are going. You can formulate profiles based on what you know now in terms of where we're going. So shout out to over 1,000 of you in the building, everybody. Shout out to all of you. Thank you for joining. I hope I've given you a little bit of a profile there because I know some of you might not know who he is, and I'm very aware of that. You'll be aware of who he is, but aware of like what he's going to bring. And I want you guys to have a little bit of an indication of what we are signing. But I think what this signing indicates to me is Leeds aren't just here to survive. Leeds are building to stay, I think, anyway. And some of you might see that as dramatic, but I think this is a really top-level signing. As I've mentioned before, I think this guy gets into a lot of top sides, and I think we're going to see that straight away. And he's played with weaker sides. He's played with a massively inferior sides on the international circuit, and he's been the standout player in pretty much every single game for Slovenia. So he's been playing backs against the walls, and his numbers for them are very good as well. I think Jaka Bijol, we've spoken about Petrovic, we've spoken about Pejao, we've spoken about Promise David, we've spoken about Habib Diarra, we've spoken about so many names on this channel. He's the first statement signing for me. Strong, smart, composed, and Premier League ready, which I think is really good. It's really nice, and a really nice sort of Monday to cap it off, really. $5 donation from, sorry lads, as well, and lasses, annoyingly, my streaming service is not showing any of your comments, so I'm going to have to get it up on YouTube. Jimmy Glass goalkeeper, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for your donation. I always see you in here, Jim Bob, the real Jim Bob. For me, we need to start focusing on the back 5 and getting that sorted out. As a back 5 in the Prem, it needs to be on the same wavelengths to stay up. Then look elsewhere. Yeah, give Jimmy some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate that. Daniel says, are you going to do a live stream on Wednesday when the fixtures are announced? Mate, the thumbnail's already ready. That will be, unfortunately, where the rumour mill probably turns into the rumour wrap that day. Yeah. And when the rumor wrap is back, that's, obviously a little bit of a more condensed version of the rumor mill if you guys want to get involved and watch that as well. And let's see what you guys are saying. Can see only Leeds bros in it. Shout out to you, Daz. How's it going, mate? Sujal's here as well. If the Toonami was interested, then clearly we've got a marquee signing. Noah Siddiqui now been linked. Where have you seen that, mate? Is it just a bit of a bit interesting? Interesting. I'm just seeing what a couple of people are saying when it comes to agreement close between Leeds and Bijol. English, yeah, okay, we've seen that. The players' entourage, I can see. Shout out to who's tagged me in that as well, everybody. Select Horsey, shout out to you guys. Guys, if you are tagging me in posts on Twitter, that is a massive bonus. And I will obviously like your comment and stuff like that. It just helps me when I'm trying to find news on the circuit. You might have even seen things before me. So yeah, Leeds have agreed that deal. Looks like around about 18 million quid as well. But really, I think it's a fantastic signing. A top signing. Well done. Yeah. And Bomba. Sasha Tavaleri. Leeds United are the first to make move for Noah Siddiqui. The Peacocks have made contact to gauge the intentions of Union Saint Gelais management with an initial offer starting at 10 million euros. We'll get into that a little bit more tomorrow, everybody. I don't want to get into that too much because, you know, I don't know enough on him, to be honest with you. Just an interesting name of which I'm aware of. But yeah, Bijol as well, Sport Witness saying that Bijol got married on Saturday in Slovenia, which is perhaps the reason things dragged on a little over the last week. There you go. There you go. Apparently he got married. So maybe it wasn't to do with Newcastle. Maybe it wasn't to do with Everton. But I can tell you guys, categorically, Newcastle were interested. I can tell you that for a fact. Connor, are you 100% sure it is a done deal? BMG, I'm not 100% sure, mate. There is still a medical to go. We know with a medical that it can. We've seen with Mickey Cuisance, the Marseille signing that never happened. Sean Kevin Augustin, the signing which should have never happened. But what we do know is it is pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered, mate, when it comes to the player agreement. That was always the case. The player agreement was done. He wanted to come to Leeds, and now it looks like a fee. The big breakthrough is the fee, and it looks like around about 18 to 19 million quid for Leeds United, which is really big. Let's have a look. Scott says, can Leeds stop enjoying themselves and sign players? Us Blades are having an identity crisis with who our manager is next season. Never boring being a Blade. Chris says, it is positive, pal. Happy with him. Exactly that. Not a Farke system player. Good to see you in here, Kingy, again, lad. Sujal says, I think this shows that when Parag said that the 49ers had been doing their homework, he meant it. Goalkeeper next. I'd be over the moon with the keeper. You guys know, and shout out to Andy Boomtime Door as well, mate. Andy in the building. Shout out to you, mate. Good to see you in here, Andy. Member as well on the channel. But yeah, I think a goalkeeper is so important. It upsets me. It upsets me when people don't kind of view that position as deadly in the Premier League, and we look at Ilan Mele and how much he struggled, barring sort of a 6-month spell in the Premier League. The goalkeeper is so important. He's on a lonely island between 12 yards of net. He's got 2 sticks, you know, he's got a stick either side of him, and he's got to protect that. If you're not focused, if you're not concentrating, if you're not at that top level with the amount of shot efficiency, with the quality in the Premier League on goal, you know, a goalkeeper can save you. Look at Matt Sells this season. Even nobody expected anything of Matt Sells at Nottingham Forest. So look what he's been able to do. His brute physicality, his movement on his line, his stature on penalties, and just how he's able to get in opponents' heads, and just his shot save efficiency is so good this season. And you need to sort of get someone like that as well, who's just a monster between the sticks, but he's mobile between the sticks as well. I think that is so important for Leeds United. So yes, goalkeeper for me. Leeds, do that, and Connor will do a 9-hour stream on whoever it is. How about that? How about that? It's been about 9 years since we've had a good goalkeeper. Joking, Rob Green. And disrespectful. Melee was all right at the start. But yeah, I'll do a 9-hour stream. Why not? Hi, Connor. So how much is the deal worth? Hope you're okay. Shout out to you, Lee Rowley. The deal is around about 22 million quid, mate. 22 million euros. His market value is apparently 26 million quid. That's gone up today. But Leeds have got him for around about 18 to 19 million quid. Timmy says, hold up was because he was getting married. Yeah, looks like it, mate. Looks like it. Signed new build. Yeah, flipping out. That would be nice. Solomon just got married. 2 lovers in the air. That's what happened when Leeds go up, mate. We don't have to worry about PSR, do we? Says slink for slink. Not yet. We are. There is a level of which we have to be careful. I think we're aware of that. I think we're aware of that when it comes to the Athletic report that's come out of the last couple of days. We have to be aware of how much we spend, and I think that's maybe why we're haggling with Udinese for the price. Reports over in Italy were saying that they were holding out for 25 to 26 million euros. Some reports saying that they wanted 25 million quid for Bijol. So it looks like Leeds have negotiated it well, especially to get him under 20 million. That's what they wanted. The reports at the start of the season were actually saying on Sky Sports that Leeds were willing to spend 30 million pounds on a centre-back. So the fact that we spent 20 million quid effectively on a centre-back is really good bit of business. So yes, exactly. So that's all good news. All good news. 18.174 million. Good stuff there. Could you bring in someone like Alex Moreno before the end of June because of Villa's PSR standing? You could, Tom. Yeah, and obviously Villa are having to sell this season. They're in the red zone, but it looks like Alex Moreno is apparently going to Real Betis to join Mr. Junior Firpo. What keeper would you go for, Connor? Oh, great question. I would probably say if I'm going for a goalkeeper, I think what you've got to take into consideration is our situation and what we're going to be in as Leeds United. We're going to be in a situation this season where we are going to be facing a lot of shots. We're one of the three weakest sides in the division. So you've got to go and get a goalkeeper that mentally is in the space, but also save percentage is high, lack of errors, and leadership, I think. Now, when you look at someone like Georgia Petrovic at Chelsea, goalkeeping wise, when it comes to save percentage and errors leading to goals, he's Chelsea's best keeper, including Mike Maignan. He's said to be around about 16 million euros. He's been in a Strasbourg team, which wasn't exactly the best team in France. So he's faced a lot of shots out there. He's faced pressure as well. No errors made this season. That in comparison to Chelsea's other keeper, Sanchez, who's made 5 this season. I think there's a calmness, there's an assurance. I think he's 25, 26 years of age. Is a good age, soccer AM. But I would be happy with that. I think it'd be a good signing. Big lad as well. Yeah, I think that'd be a good signing. I think that'd be a nice signing. It looks like it would be achievable as well. And once again, as Angus Kane used to say, a market opportunity. So yeah, that could be a good one as well. I've mentioned Finn Darman before as well. But yeah, maybe Petrovic. I've started to warm to him over the past however many days. So yeah, it looks like it's once again a little bit. We all knew that signing was coming, but it's come a little bit out a little bit out the blue when it comes to us just seeing it and just being like, oh, okay, didn't expect that on a Monday evening. But yeah, it looks like Leeds maybe would have this done in the next 24 hours. Sports Witness have just put out their Leeds United working agreement over 24 hours or so. Players' agents set to fly to England to seal personal terms. Both aspects being worked on very quickly now. Yeah, Leeds have agreed a deal. And I mean, do you know what it is, everybody? Look at the neck on him. If you get a chance, look at the neck on this guy. Do you know they always say about boxers and MMA fighters, if you get punched in the head, if you've got a bigger neck, it's almost like you can get knocked out, obviously. But the lads with the thicker necks have just got a bit more stability up there. So there's a likelihood that they're not going to get knocked out. Look at Bijol's neck. Look at his head size, and you'll see why he's just a brute. So, yeah, and we need that. We drastically need that, and just any sort of set piece structure in the Premier League of us actually being, able to cause teams problems would be so nice as well. Would be so nice. What have I missed, Connor? It looks like Leeds are about to sign Jaka Bijol, mate. Jaka Bijol. I keep saying Jaka. Carl says, hi, Connor lad. So glad we got him. Just hope it doesn't happen because I know Newcastle don't come in. Nah, it looks like it's good. It looks like it's done, mate. As soon as I saw that jawline, Connor, Mike Tyson had a thick neck. Honestly, the insight I can go MMA, I can go boxing. I can. I'm a big fight fan. But honestly, look at the thickness of his neck. Neck, I said. You little dirty devils. What a signing. Very, very good indeed. 100%. Yeah, new, but it feels like a statement, doesn't it? It feels like a statement. If you guys just started joining, I did speak to the chat around about 15 minutes ago about what we're getting with him. So if you are just joining, you can go back and have a look. We've done like a little 5-6 point blueprint on what we're going to get with this guy and how good this guy is going to be, in my opinion, at Leeds United. So go have a look back at that if you want. And yeah, Eli says, what's your back three? What's your back three, Connor? Well, I don't think we'll play a back three, mate. I think it's going to be a back four. I think that's a little bit too pragmatic, but I think it's going to be a back two, and I think it is going to be. I think it's going to be Bijol and Rodon. Connor, are the most recent content going on Spotify? Much love from Ohio. Shout out to you, Dilmatic. Yes, it will be, mate. It will be going on Spotify. If you guys don't know, we are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts as well, if you fancy that as well, guys. Have to say this just at the end of the video. Make sure you're checking out Shop G&O. down here with one Leeds, link in the description, you get a 25 quid membership free. You can list your shop on there, 5% cheaper rates than eBay, Vinted, and Amazon. Also, we're sponsored by the Job Match Group as well. I know sometimes people are struggling through work, so that's why we partnered up with a Leeds United fan who wants to help everybody in the community. There's tailored jobs for every single one of your needs. It can be any job in the world, and Job Match Group actually have sites: F1 Job Match Group, Security Match Group, Retail Match Group, anything you want over there. It's very, very unique in the space, so make sure you check that out if you fancy it. But guys, my name's Conor McGilligan. This has been One Leeds, kind of a bit of a rumor wrap. We're going to be back very soon with probably some more Jaka Bijol content, of course. But yeah, if you want to catch us out on Spotify and Apple, we will be uploading this to that. And if you want to play the replay on here, you can hear the initial reaction and why we will sign him and how this is going to work and his positive attributes, which I know a lot of you guys like. So guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you want a little bit of bonus stuff, we're over on Patreon. We'll be over on the WhatsApp group talking about this, and you can only get that through the Patreon. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please make sure you like the video. I'll see you in a bit. Check the video out.